This is Advanced Nutrition Calculating Your Own Prescription. I posted something on Facebook, and the majority of people, by a good margin, wanted to know about diet. So that's the video I'm going to do, and I'm going to walk you through exactly what I do to calculate prescriptions for my clients and protocols for my clients. Now, one thing that's important to understand, this is advanced stuff. If you get your prescription and you have something laid out exactly, and it has a very high chance of burning you out over time if you're just starting. So you want to be thinking that advanced strategies, everybody likes advanced strategies, everybody wants to do advanced stuff, but the biggest bang for your buck is going to be taking a step back and focusing on the basics, getting enough protein, cutting out refined sugar crap, drinking water, getting enough sleep, all of these things. Well, if you put your focus on those things, you're going to get a better result. You should do that for at least a year before you consider starting to do some of this advanced stuff, just in terms of health and getting the necessary habits in place. Now, with that said, this is the way that I calculate my prescriptions for myself, for my clients, and people pay me money to do this, and I'm going to show you exactly, step by step, what I do to create these protocols. The very first thing is I have 3 variables, 3 things that I need to know to get the most accurate prescription, the most accurate starting point. That is age, height, and lean body mass. To find lean body mass, I use 2 things, body weight and body fat percentage. If I know those 2 variables, I can then calculate lean body mass, and then I have what I need to calculate basic calorie requirements, basal metabolic rate. We have right here male and female. I run my numbers through that. I get a calorie output. Then, based on that calorie output, I have an activity factor. The activity factor ranges from 1.1 to 1.75. There are 3 activity factors that I use. 1.1, which is a light day. 1.45, which is a medium day, and then 1.7, which is a hard day. This is a factor that's added on, multiplied by my basal metabolic rate, or the calculation that I did to get those base calories. I use that multiplier to determine my light, medium, and hard days. Light and rest days are the same in terms of what calories I need. Okay, so once I have that, I determine what my protein factor and my carb factors are. It ranges from 0.7 to 1.3 times, and this is something that is, on a case-by-case basis, I change these variables based on what I think is appropriate. For instance, if someone weighs 350 pounds, I don't use a 1 times protein factor and give them 350 grams of protein to eat. But for the most part, a 1 times factor for each of these, protein and carbs, is a good starting place. Once I have that, I have my carb multiplier, which is a variation on how much my workload is, what sort of activities I'm doing. Am I bodybuilding or powerlifting, or am I doing very, very hard, high endurance type work? This is going to manipulate my carb factors, and it's based on workload, it's based on application and body fat percentage. For our example here, we have a fitness example, someone who does fitness, goes to classes, group classes, or whatever, or is approximately 12 to 18% body fat, or both. This is just an example. For this person, my carb multiplier, my factor would be on rest days 0.5. So if I have I calculate everything out, and I have a daily requirement of carbs of 200. On my rest days, I take in 100. On my light days, I take in that 200. On the medium days, I take in the 300. And then on my high days, I take in 400. Now, these are hard, very hard days. So don't be kind of shocked at 400 grams of carbs. It's all appropriate. It's appropriate depending on what you're doing. So I have that. Then I determine what my goal is. So cut or gain. And for the most part, plus or minus 250 to 1,000 calories, depending on how fast or slow or long-term minded somebody is. Now, I have those foundational numbers done. I write out my calories, protein, carbohydrates, and fat for each one of these. So I have my non-training day, I have my calorie requirements, my protein, my carbohydrate, my fat requirements, my light, my medium, and my hard days. Okay, that's now my prescription. Based on what I'm doing, if I'm resting, my carbohydrates change, my calories adjust. If I'm doing very hard training, my calories adjust, my carbs adjust. The things that don't adjust is protein. Protein stays the same. My carbs vary, just like I was saying, based on multiple factors, including how hard the day is and what my body fat level is at. And then fat is used to make up the necessary calories. So say I have, 3,000 calories to eat. I know my protein requirements, that stays the same. My carbohydrates vary depending on what the day is. And then the remaining calories is made up in fat. Okay, so that's important to know. That, in a nutshell, is the way that my diet prescriptions are constructed. This is for macronutrients specifically. This doesn't take into account food quality, which is an extremely important and a totally different subject. So don't think that I'm promoting eating bullshit and, just doing it in this way and everything will be good. Okay, so that's important to understand. Now, as a couple examples, I have a 27-year-old male, 205 pounds, 11% body fat, 70 inches tall, 5'10", in hard training, and has been doing that for 3 years and wants to gain. His prescription would be for a moderate day, not a high day, for a moderate day, 3,285 calories, 205 grams of protein, 410 grams of carbohydrates, and 92 grams of fat. For a female, 39 years old, 155 pounds at 23% body fat, 64 inches tall, training 3 times a week, who wants to cut, she would get 1,615 calories for that day, for a moderate day for her, 155 grams of protein, 130 grams of carbohydrates, and 57 grams of fat. For a female, 25 years old, 145 grams, 145 pounds at 16% body fat, 66 inches tall, 5 times a week training. She wants to maintain or support her training, not necessarily gain or lose. She would have 1,879 grams, 1,879 calories, 145 grams of protein, 217 grams of carbohydrates, and 48 grams of fat. So I hope this, if you run through these numbers and you do it yourself, you can get very highly accurate prescription for you where you are currently, and it will last between 4 and 8 weeks depending on how fast you're losing or gaining. So there are some manipulations that need to happen. If you run yourself through these numbers, you will get something very valuable for yourself. And it is advanced, so you need some background, obviously. If you need help with it, feel free to reach out to me. I can construct a program for $99, but you can do it yourself, no problem, if you run yourself through these. So I hope that was helpful, and I look forward to helping you if you need help. But otherwise, look for my next videos about supplement protocols and then also nutrient timing. So I look forward to helping you with that. If you need help, again, you can always reach out to me, nathan@levelmethodgym.com, or that works best. And thanks for watching. See ya.